And now, weighing in out of the blue corner, Josh the Punk Thomson. 100%. And on the other mic, he weighs in from the red corner, Big John McCarthy.
Well, hello and welcome to the Weighing In podcast. It is dark outside. I don't know if it's daytime or nighttime. It doesn't matter because we've got fights to talk about. Got the UFC with Edson Barboza taking on Sodiq Yusuff. Great fight. Don't know about some of the commentary on it, but my God, good fight. And then we had the KSI versus Tommy Fury. Logan Paul versus Dillon. I'm not going to box. I'm going to do all kinds of stupid things. Danis. My man, what's up? Were you like as mystified as far as watching some of these fights as I was? It was like, why am I doing this?
It was just straight trash.
Oh,
it was trash, man. I don't know what else to say. But hey, for entertainment-wise, it was some entertaining stuff. I mean, your boy Dillon Danis tried to pull guillotine, then tried to jump guard. Your boy.
Yeah,
and if you guys don't believe that they're friends, go to Bellator Instagram. There's a picture of Big John and Dillon on there. Hugging up. Guys are friends.
Someone in the Bellator media family there. They're gonna get.
They love you. They love you. They love you. John, just like his football teams, though, now that Dillon's lost, he'll jump ship and become boys with Logan. And it's your boy Logan Paul. Oh man, I thought. I mean, like, there was a lot going on, man. Yesterday, we had the fights with KSI and Tommy Fury, and we had Logan Paul and Dillon. The DQ, and then we had a great main event with the UFC with Barboza and Sodiq Yusuff, and I thought there was a couple good fights on that card, man. A couple good fights on there that we'll be talking about.
Surprising, a couple surprising.
Yeah, I thought it was good, man. I thought it was good. Outside of that, though, before we get started, though, go to onlyfans.com/weighing-in, onlyfans.com/weighing-in. Subscribers over there. It is free. We don't charge you guys. We get some extra content up on that platform. I want to thank you guys for continuing to support us. Go to weighing-in-merch.com and pick up some of our apparel. See, John is wearing a hoodie. You want to know why? Because it's getting cold. It was freezing last night.
Damn straight.
So go to weighing-in-merch.com, pick up some of our apparel and our hoodies there, and shirts that are available there. We got to do some long sleeves, man. I'm a long sleeve kind of guy. And but also, even before we carry,
because you got those buggy whip arms.
What are you talking about? These
skinny
fucking guns right here? Can't even look at those bad boys. Look at those.
Yeah, look how skinny that thing is.
I
You
still
can take
got
like a whip.
it. I still got it.
You
got a
could
little
be
bit
on
of texture to it.
You could be on like even today, an Amish cart with a.
What do you got against Amish people, man?
Nothing. What did I say? It's an Amish cart. It's where you would use a buggy whip.
I'll whip the shit out of you and fucking podcast Dave is what I should do.
Really?
Fucking,
yeah. On that one.
Yeah.
Ow.
That was a good reaction. Right on time. But before we move on at all, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell and the notifications. We'll be dropping some extra content. We're going to be doing some extra stuff also, too, for the Bellator YouTube channel. So check us out over there. And subscribe to us down below in the descriptions for our Clips channel as well. You guys, this is let's get right into the card from yesterday with the boxing and Tommy Fury KSI. You want to start from the top, or you want to work from the bottom on this one?
Look, I'm not going to talk about Dean the Great and all that. I don't care.
No, I'm just talking about Dillon Danis and Logan Paul, and I'm talking about KSI.
We'll go. Let's go. Let's go. Look, it was the main event, KSI versus Tommy Fury. Let's talk about that. And I thought KSI came out and looked really fucking good. He took a page out of Michael Venom Page. You can see that. Do you see that page out of Michael Venom Page? You see that? But
lame.
Yeah, it kind of was. But training with the London Shoot Fighters, you had Norbert Navigny, who is got the same style as far as he's taken MVP style and uses it, and it caused Tommy Fury nothing but trouble. Mm-hmm. Tommy Fury was not comfortable in there, and he was not comfortable based upon shit. I can't fucking figure out the range. I can't figure out. He's faster than I thought, and he's lunging in and throwing shots, and some of them are catching me, and it made a guy who is look at Tommy Fury can box. All these people who say, "Oh, he can't box," he can box.
Yeah,
He's not afraid of engaging. He throws. I don't think he's got a ton of power in his hands. He's not a knockout guy, but he's got a good jab and stuff. And it negated the jab. He didn't really use it because he couldn't figure out the range, and he couldn't get to a point where he felt comfortable. A little bit later on in the fight, he kind of started to get it, but you got to give it to KSI for a guy that came into this, was never a boxer. He actually boxed well. He actually fought well. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a draw based upon the point deduction, but that would have made me giving Tommy Fury more rounds, but it was a close fight.
Did you think the point deduction was warranted?
Yes and no. He got talked into it because KSI played it up very well as far as, the way that the first one occurred. And then right away with the second one, it was like, oh my God, And instead of settling things down and everything, he decided, I'm going to take the point. I'm not saying it was, the taking of a point in a 6-round fight. It's kind of like, the whole thing with MMA. Taking a point is a big thing. It affects the fight greatly. Mm-hmm. And so you have to be smart with it. And you're taking a look at how much holding was being done. KSI held a ton. Yeah. A ton. Okay? You didn't take any points for that. It gets to a point where you got to look and say, you got to be even about things. I didn't think it should have been a point deduction, but it was. So.
Yeah. I was watching the fight. I was listening to some of the commentary on this fight and kind of seeing what they were saying. It was bad, John. It was bad. And there's a reason why some people talk fights and some people talk in the media. Because there's a difference. You have to know what you're looking at. I heard a part where he goes, why is Tommy Fury not boxing like he did against Jake Paul?
Different.
And I said, what in the fuck fight are you watching? He can't box him like that. He'll get fucking just pieced up. Like, that's when you're watching, like, the person doing the commentary fucking doesn't know what they're talking about. And I'm thinking to myself, man, like, you can't just sit there and try to pot shot someone who is faster than you, who's more athletic than you, and fucking can get into the clinch anytime he wants because he just slipped off the jab and then grabbed you and then was dirty boxing you on the inside. You cannot box somebody like that. You need to find ways to work your way in. He's got to strategically step off line as he throws and try to land on a big shot, or he's just got to walk him down like he was doing in the very first round. But then every single time, KSI got to the clinch. Yeah, he kept getting caught. That was one.
And that's why he stopped.
That's what I'm saying.
This isn't working.
You can't just stand on the outside, though, and try to box him with the jab. You're going to get fucking tore up.
No.
And so when I was listening, I'm like, what do you mean? Why is he not boxing him with his jab? And I'm like, he's not faster. He's not more athletic. And KSI, to me, and I said this to you off air before we started, he had a really good game plan. Every time he got in the clinch, just every time he got close, grab him, and then just grimy him up a little bit, and led to getting the point deduction, and that put him, that made him feel a lot more comfortable. And it just felt like Tommy had to fight from behind after that, which he did.
He was,
and so it was a sense of urgency of like, shit, how do I get this done now? A little bit of like, fuck, these guys are gonna rob me. They're gonna find a way to rob me. Like, that's what's going through Tommy Fury's mind. I can't lose to these fucking YouTubers. I mean, it's honestly, that's exactly what these guys are thinking. There's no way I'm losing to these fucking YouTubers. And I think it's got to the point though now too where, I mean, after watching that in the way that like a boxer like Tommy Fury has to box someone that fights like that, which is a YouTuber, it becomes like really dirty, like kind of ugly looking fight. Not that it was a dirty fight, like as in, they were meaning to hit each other in the back of the head, those type of things. It's just, it was an ugly fight. Just watching it. I mean, I was reading some of the boxing and MMA comments. They were like, man, this is like watching two like schoolyard kids. It was so bad. And it's the style. And everyone, if you guys aren't familiar, like you said, with MVP and with and Norveni Jr., like their style, it's so difficult to deal with, especially if you have the speed advantage. They get in, they get out, that bounce in the step. You don't know when they're throwing. And everyone thinks they're just going to like, oh, I'm just going to like walk right through it, or I'm going to move it offline and then land a big shot. No, you're not.
It's
You're
not quite that easy.
And KSI doesn't do it anywhere near the level of MVP.
Oh,
And it's like,
but it worked.
but it worked. It did. Every time he was able to make him miss or land first, then he just clinched right away. It was a little bit like a Bernard Hopkins
Yeah,
type
that's
fight.
exactly what I was thinking of.
Exactly.
Bernard Hopkins used to do that, especially as he went up in weight and guys were bigger than him. He would come in, and grab.
Yep.
And he did it continuously, and because it works, it keeps that opponent from being able to get their shots off, get a good shot off. It crushes the space on them, and then you get to get reset. You already put it back out at distance. That's where you wanted to be anyways.
How many more fights do you think Bernard Hopkins had? Because he saved him. He saved his body, his head, all of those things. His ability,
absolutely,
to fight longer because he didn't take as many shots. He punched his way in and kind of bulldozed. Remember, I don't know if you guys recall, he bulldozed with his head. He would come in leaning with his head, and then he'd get there, and then he'd clinch you. As soon as he threw his combinations, he'd clinch you, and you're like, shit, you never had a chance to get off. You had to land that one clean shot as he was coming in. Otherwise, he would just grab you, and then you had the ref to break you, and it was like, boom, start all over. He did that for 10 rounds, 12 rounds, whatever fight he was fighting. And what I saw last night was a little bit of that. It was
a lot of that.
It was a lot of that. But I got to give credit to KSI, man. He fought a better fight than I thought he was going to fight. I thought Tommy did the best he could with what he was dealing with. That style was very difficult to deal with. He definitely was not the faster fighter.
And he was not ready for that kind of style.
No. And
you had not seen KSI fight that style in any of his previous boxing matches.
Yeah.
He didn't fight like that.
He still had a little bit of a bounce, kind of like
yeah,
that. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Not
like that.
Not with what he was doing.
And Fury, you could tell, he felt uncomfortable out there. You could see the way he was so stiff, and you could see the way he was trying to load up and land the one shot. You just cannot fight somebody. Let me just stand out on the outside and try and hit you with my jab when the dude's faster than you and the guy moves better than you and the guy's got more lateral movement. He's just can get in, get out. You can't fight guys just a standard box. You got to put pressure. You got to make them fight an uncomfortable fight. Tommy just wasn't prepared for it, and he did in the first round or two. But then after he did that, he was getting hit on the way in. He's got to find a way to step offline and then step in and throw that jab, or he's got to kind of lower his head a little bit down by the waist as he's throwing the body shot. Way to kind of slow those guys down is jabbing to the body, then coming back up top, to the head, or give the feint, make them react, and then go again. But look, I'm not here to knock on whoever was doing the commentary last night, but it just did not. You could tell it was almost like they hired their friend, and it just didn't sound right. So I don't know. It wasn't it wasn't good. I can tell you that. But I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean he's not fighting him like he did against Jake? They're different fighters. You got to make changes, man. It was bad. It was bad. All right. Anyways, let's go with the next fight. Your boy, Dillon Danis. Woo!
Man.
All
right. I got to give it this. He showed up.
Yeah.
He showed up. Now, I don't agree with the style that he decided to employ as he showed up.
I'm not. Wait. Before you get going, I agree with the style, but you have to have output though.
There you go.
I'm okay with the pressure and the hands up and not
moving forward, putting pressure on. I thought was great, but you can't be a punching bag.
Yeah.
That has nothing in response to what's occurring. The reason to put your hands up, a la, Abraham style, if you recall, is to make someone throw the shots, get tired, and then I'm going to just start peppering it and blasting it. Dillon, he didn't have hardly any output.
No,
hardly any output. I mean, it was sad as far as because there was opportunities. Look, Logan is not as good as his brother Jake. Okay, as a boxer,
not even close.
Not even close. There's a marked difference, and you can see it. And he doesn't have that much power because he was winging shots as hard as he could in some of those scenarios. And you're looking and you're going, yeah, you're throwing arm punches. You're not sitting down on it and throwing that the way it needs to be to deliver the power you want. But he was winning, no doubt about it. He was taking round after round because there was nothing coming really back at him. From Dillon, he was, putting pressure, but there was no offensive output. And then Dillon started to do the look, if you're going to sign up for boxing, be a boxer. Mm-hmm. Don't sit there and try to do a takedown. Don't sit there and try to put someone in a guillotine. Don't go to your back, like, come into my guard. What the fuck? You're making yourself look ridiculous. And I'm being honest. I want you to think about, Josh, where does he go from here? It's one fight. Okay? Where does he go? No one's going to put him back in a boxing match. Okay? Do you care about him in MMA?
No, absolutely not.
You sign him if you're a promoter?
I mean, the LFA, or like, he's got a big enough name to help me build my small promotion. Look, I mean, John, here's the worst part. Is that the guy prepared for boxing maybe for like 2 weeks, and he still went however many
6 rounds.
6 rounds,
5 3/4.
Yeah, and it like I look at you got to weigh it out in terms of I didn't expect much from him to begin with.
Nope.
But I got better than what I expected. So there's ability and talent there. Like I'm not saying he's ever going to be a world-class boxer. I'm saying that he actually coming in with the game plan of, okay, shell up, make him expend energy. Great idea. But you got to throw back.
Remember Arthur Abraham?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
Remember the Super Six? And he was part of the Super Six?
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite guys.
Yeah, dude. And he would shell and just walk forward and put pressure on you and eventually just start. I was like, not a bad game plan.
Yeah.
But you got to throw back.
No, you got to land.
You can't just wing a shot. It misses. Okay. And that's one for the 3 I'm going to throw in this round. It was just, there's no output. You can't win a fight like that.
Yeah. No, I know. All the other stuff at the antics or at the end, all that other stuff. I mean, it was he understood where he was at. I mean, he was not winning the fight. Couldn't get his hands on Logan. The shooting the takedown was ridiculous. I mean, I understood kind of grabbing the head and the guillotine threat, a little bit like how Nate did at the end of the fight. But it's like, okay, you're having fun with it. I get it. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he does. I can't tell you. I mean, he maybe goes back to Twitter and starts offering people $10,000 for every person that likes the tweet. I don't know. Maybe that's what he does. But
go back to Twitter.
I mean, he's still getting sued. So let's not forget, he's still getting sued, I believe. So I mean that he's gonna have some problems after, which is the dumbest thing. Also, I think we talked about that a little bit the other day too. Stupid.
Yeah.
You can't sign somebody to promote a fight. I mean that would be. I mean, honestly, that'd be like Khabib suing Conor. For all the shitty ass things that Conor said. And that was a lot more harsh than fucking what Dillon did. Posted some pictures of fucking her with the people she was really with. Let's not, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I wasn't impressed. Like you said, the Logan Paul thing. He's not anywhere near as good as his brother. His brother can box, and Dillon just did Dillon. Dillon does what Dillon's gonna do. Like, I mean, like, he's got talent. He's got the ability. He's got good jiu-jitsu, great jiu-jitsu. He should fight MMA. I don't know what the hell he's doing, goofing around. Chasing tail, doing whatever it is. I don't know, bar hopping, getting choked out by bouncers. Dumb. Just stupid. Just stupid stuff. So I don't know. I think he's gotta make an exit and figure out what he wants to do now. I mean, he still has a contract with Bellator, I believe. He's got 2 fights for them, so still think he does. I think he's got a 4-fight deal. So he's got 2 more fights.
That contract had to end. It's 4 fights in how many years?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they offered him, and all they do is they offer him a fight and it extends. They offer him a fight and it extends. That contract keeps going. And if I'm the PFL and I'm thinking I'm going to buy Bellator, you kind of want him.
Nope.
Because now you kind of do, only because you have Jake Paul.
No,
you got Jake Paul.
Good point. I didn't think about that. It's not a bad point.
Yeah,
but still, I don't know. Let's go over the DQ, okay? Because we had some, and Uncle Chael was on the phone with me right away saying, "John, that's an automatic DQ," and the security guy comes in. and there was a rule in boxing where, any cornerman or person for that comes in, you can DQ, but they never want it to be an automatic. And there was a fight that occurred probably about 10 years ago where a referee DQ'd a fighter who was absolutely, no doubt, winning the fight easily when his cornerman accidentally stepped in the cage thinking it was the end of the round when the referee had actually called time. Big deal. And he ended up giving the fight to the opponent. That was not looked upon. And you can look and say, okay, could the referee have DQ'd Logan Paul for having his security guard come into the ring before the end of the round? Or before
Gordon Ryan got in?
Yes.
Gordon Ryan got in there? Did you hear that?
It's one of them. Oh, it's one. But yeah, he could have. But he also could have DQ'd Dillon Danis for, flopping to the ground, for trying the guillotine, for trying for takedowns. All those things. All those things are illegal, and everyone knows they're illegal in the boxing world. And so Dillon deserved the DQ way much over what happened with Logan Paul. And I'm not standing up for Logan Paul as far as any of his crap, because if he was proud of that win, dude, you got a long ways to go to be proud, as far as that was not an impressive performance, against a guy who was not throwing shots at you.
See, I told you guys, man, he was Dillon Danis' boy when we started this conversation. At the end, he's sticking up for Logan Paul. I told you guys. Big John, that's Big John's new boy, Logan Paul. My boy. Mama John's that's my boy right there, Logan
That's
Paul.
why I just said you got nothing to be proud of. I don't know, I'm just being honest.
Oh.
Everything is a shtick with these guys. You're in a boxing ring and you're talking about, I'm going back to the WWE. Good, go back.
Did you see Hendo?
He's made for that much more than he is for the boxing world. He's good at that.
Yeah. Did you see Hendo? Dan Henderson put out a clip of him knocking out Bisbing, going, "Hey, I can box. Let's."
Well, since I was just with Hendo having dinner with him a week ago. He can box, dude. He's still got he's got power in that fucking right hand.
Palm, baby. He's got fucking power.
He can still hurt people. He hurts people in training at this age. You'll hit him and they'll go, Dan, and he goes, "What? I didn't hit you hard."
No. Okay, I got a little story for you guys. Dan Henderson came. Dan and I have been friends for a long time, since like 98, 99, sometime around there. He came down to AKA and he trained down there. And all the guys, it was like right after, I believe it was right after John Fitch, Koscheck, and Swick, and Bobby Southworth were all on The Ultimate Fighter.
Oh, no, that would have been that. Well, that's the time
that's when he came to AKA.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. But I was.
So 2005.
No, I've been friends with him since
98,
99, sometime around there. Anyways, so we this guy, he gets off the plane, comes straight to AK. Or I pick him up at the airport, bring him straight to AK, takes a look, and we get ready for training. I take him over to a friend's house to drop him off because he's gonna stay there, and yeah. So then we take him over to AK, get some sparring in. He fucking works right through John Fitch, Josh Koscheck, Mike Swick, fucking Bobby Southworth. He goes through them all. I mean, poor John Fitch, because John didn't have the ability to kind of like get out of his way. He had John sitting in the corner on the fucking bottom rope. He was fucking, and we were like, whoa. I was like, Dan, you gotta ease up on these guys. They're 70-pounders. He's like, I'm not hitting them hard. Oh, yes, you are.
That's Dan. I'm not hitting them hard.
Yes, you are. Javier was there going, what the fuck? Oh, man, it was hilarious. I mean, I felt kind of bad for the boys, but he was putting it on them. And he had Fitch like kind of sitting on that bottom rope, kind of like, oh shit, like just couldn't handle the pressure, couldn't handle the punching power. And it just, I mean, the guy's just, if you guys ever get a chance, if any of you guys ever get a chance to meet him, when you shake his hand, tell me just hit us up in the comments about what it felt like. it's like shaking a fucking granite rock with jagged edges on the side of it. Just, it's so rough, man. I was like, geez, man. I shook his hand the other day when I saw him at the Bellator fights in San Diego. I was like, what the fuck? What the hell?
He's awesome though, man.
He's a great guy, man. Absolutely amazing. Sense of humor.
What's funny is you're sitting there saying that, and his wife, Rachel, is gorgeous. She's a doll, but she's small as far as, weight and everything. And she goes, he just touches me and it hurts. I'm like, I don't even want to know, man.
No.
That's Dan.
That's probably why she stayed.
That's it, baby.
Oh, geez, man. Oh, geez. Anyways, all right. Well, hey, that's gonna wrap up our talk on the YouTube fights. And before we move on, go to onlyfans.com/weighing-in, onlyfans.com/weighing-in. If you are an athlete, if you're a younger athlete, even a professional athlete or an amateur athlete, hit us up. If you guys are looking to get connected with OnlyFans, we can try to help you guys get on the platform and start making a little extra money to share your content. And what I mean by content is try to be able to sell some of your techniques, whether you have a step over for soccer, whether you play lacrosse, or whether you're basketball, whatever it is, and boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, any of those things that you guys could potentially put your content on this platform and make a little extra spending cash. Look, if it's an extra $500, an extra $5,000, whatever, hit us up in the comments or hit us up in the messages. And we can try to get you guys put onto this platform. And that's at onlyfans.com/weighing-in. Subscribe to us over there. It is free. We don't charge. And we just put up extra content for you guys to view and for your viewing pleasure. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into the main event. Let's talk some real fights.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Well, all right, let's go. Edson Barboza taking on Sodiq Yusuff. Super Sadiq. What did you think of the fight overall? First round. Let's talk the first round.
Yes.
Because there was a whole lot of comments on the first round, and we had one of the commentators saying that it was a 10-7.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a 10-8.
Not even fucking close. What the fuck? You can't put out that kind of information because then you have people start to say, well, it's not close to a 10-7. Okay? Look, Sadiq hurt Edson. No doubt about it. Did you see him get hurt? Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did he get hurt twice? Yes. But was he fighting back? And at the end of the round, what did you have?
A guy who survived.
Guy that survived the round, on his back, but wasn't taking much abuse near the end.
Yeah.
Was he? I would have given it a 10-8 based upon the fact that Sadiq hurt him, put him down, and then hurt him again. Look, that was a round where you're looking and saying, damage-wise, he took some damage. And you can see it on his face, all of it. That was a definite 10-8 round. No doubt about it. And I thought the one judge, Chris, was wrong for not giving it a 10-8. Two judges gave it a 10-8. One did not. But, we have people fucking complaining about fucking Grasso with a 10-8, against Shevchenko. And we have a commentator talking about 10-7 here. Come on, you got to be, that's not even close to a 10-7 round. 10-7 round is complete domination of the round from almost the start to the finish. We're talking Chris Cyborg taking on Jan Finney, 5 knockdowns. We're talking Khalil Roundtree against Eric Anderson, 4 knockdowns. And I mean, righteous knockdowns. That's 10-7 territory. This was half of a 10-7 territory. So,
was that first round of Gray Maynard, Frankie Edgar at 10-7 in this year, in this day and age?
Yeah, could be. Yeah, a lot of people, even at this time, they'll all say it should have been a 10-7.
Yeah, I wanted to know just because I wanted to see.
Absolutely. Take a look at how much damage did he do to Frankie in that round.
It's fucking disgusting.
Amazing that Frankie was able to survive some of it.
Yeah,
so,
incredible. Yeah. I mean, look, I had Edson. Obviously, I had it at 10-8 in the first, and then I had Edson running away with it after that. Every round after that, I had Edson winning.
Okay, and let's go to the second round. Look, it was fairly close.
Yeah,
fairly close, but it was pretty clear that Sadiq had kind of blown his wad a little bit.
Yeah.
Was looking for a little bit of air and stuff, and the better shots were placed by Edson.
Yeah.
You know, he started using his jab, started using the kicks, and it was like, yeah, Edson wins that round. And again, we had it to where they're talking about Sadiq wins that round. I'm like, no, I didn't see it that way.
No,
I thought Edson, from that point where that first round ended, that was his moment. He started to collect himself, get himself back, and started to be able to, you know, work his game plan and just slowly and systematically start to pick Sadiq apart.
I mean, John, when people ask us, you know, about how we pronounce people's names and all these other things, it's because we don't listen to the fights with the commentary on. But like, I started doing it just recently, and I listen here and there, you know. But the thing is this is why, because you can be persuaded into that should have been a 10-7.
Oh, sure.
You know, like that second round went to that fighter. No, when I was watching it, I actually had to go back and watch it to see, and just to kind of see what was going on. And I was like, yeah, basically Sadiq won the first round 10-8, and he lost every round after that. And here's the other thing. Did you give round 3 a 10-8 for Barboza?
No,
because he did drop him.
He did. But it was one shot.
Yeah.
It was a beautifully placed kick. It kind of hit with, you know, the toe and ball of the foot, not the heel, where if he had hit with the heel, it probably would have been the end of the fight.
Yeah.
But, you know, Sadiq handled it well as far as, and he went down, you know, kind of stumbled a little bit, goes down, and Edson goes for a Darce and is looking at it like, nope. And then he starts to look for it, and then he comes around and he lands a couple of shots off it. There wasn't a ton of damage done afterwards that added to that knockdown. So it was a knockdown. It was a great, and you know, absolutely, you know, clearly makes him win the round, even if he had lost a lot of the round. Well, I'm not saying he did, but he wins that round easily. But that was not a 10-8. It would have had to have more, just like Sadiq had more in that first round. He hurt him twice.
No, I agree. I had it 10-9 also, but I had Sadiq losing the rest of the rounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was 10-9, 10-9, 10 all the way across the board. So I had Edson winning the rest of the fight. And the way he did it was very, very smart. He needed to slow him down. So what's a way to slow someone down? Start going to the body. Start keeping their hands and their elbows loyal to their rib cage.
You hurt him to the body.
Yeah.
You hurt him to the body. You could see it.
But John, you could tell in the first round, Sadiq, he blew his wad. But then on top of that, though, too, he was the heavier hitter. He's the guy that had the more power, and he had more output in that first round. He was getting after him, but in the clinch, he was letting more than 1 and 2s go. In the second round, because he was tired, Edson started kicking the body, started hitting the body, and what that did was that started slowing him down. He didn't want to reach out. He didn't want to extend his arms too much because he knew he was going to get kicked or hit to the body with the body shot. And the reason why is because as you start to get into those exchanges and you start to get tired, every little thing that touches your liver, your ribs, you start thinking, man, that was close. Oh, it zaps a little bit of your energy. It takes it out of you.
Zaps a lot of your energy.
Yeah. And he realized, I can't throw more than 1 shot, 2 shots. And that slowed down the pace of his fight. Sure. And he was more afraid of getting hit with a real hard, clean body shot and having to go down than anything. And you could just tell the output wasn't there anymore. He was afraid. And not just afraid, as the fight went on, he got tired. And that's how you minimize how many shots someone with power can throw. You start kicking to the body, you start hitting to the body, and then all of a sudden they got T-Rex arms. They're like, nope, I'm not letting anything get out of this position here until I can try to grab you and knee you or try to elbow you or whatever it is. You could tell he felt very uncomfortable in those areas because he didn't want to get kicked or punched to the body. And Edson Barboza was mixing it up real well. Kick to the body, come back up, throw the hook, and then come back down to the body. I mean, he was doing really well in mixing up how he got to the body. Great job, great performance, great comeback.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
fantastic.
A lot of guys would have fucking just tucked tail and just fucking got into the fetal position and just said, okay, that's it. It's not me. You know, and he didn't. I mean, the guy's a gamer, man. He's been through it all. He's fought the who's who and been through it all.
I saw a lot of people on social media talking about Edson's face. How does a guy that's that beat up win the fight?
Ask Bisping how he beat Dan Henderson.
Bingo. There you go.
Ask.
Like, that all happened in the first round for the most part. Now,
Yeah.
there was obviously some lumps and bumps that came after, but the damage was done in the round that you're giving it to Sadiq at 10-8.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the entire fight. You got to look at the whole thing. And by the end, Edson had won those rounds. He definitely deserved the win. I thought the judges had it, almost perfect.
Almost right. Exactly right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, overall, though, when you rate that fight, even though Edson won, I thought he win? 48-46?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, on the cards. 48-46 or 49. I think 48-46.
There was a 49.
There was a 49, 40 something, yeah. Look, the fight was a lot closer, though, than the scorecards kind of showed. It was a close fight. Like, the second round was close. Sadiq obviously lost the third, the fourth and fifth. And the fifth, he obviously lost because of the takedowns, the control from the top, all those things. But in the fourth was a good fight back and forth, some good exchanges.
Yeah.
Sadiq just needed one or two good hard shots to maybe try to steal the round back, and he just couldn't get it done.
This is where you're looking at, when people are trying to understand judging, you're going off and saying that, look, our first thing that we're looking at is damage, effective damage that can bring it into the fight. That's what you had in the first round. That's why it ended up being a 10-8. And when you have that kind of damage, it's pretty easy to say who's going to win the round. Then, when you don't have that real damage, like the second round, you have volume. Who was the guy that landed the cleaner shots with, there wasn't a ton of damage or nothing heavy that really was a difference maker, but it was the volume of what they put out, and it was clean volume. It landed in good areas. Then you go back to the third round. What do you have? You got damage. That damage takes the round, and that's what you're looking at. And overall, the volume of Edson Barboza was always there compared to Sadiq, except in the first round.
Yeah. Overall, though, I thought it was a great fight. The two of them had back and forth battles. I mean, the first round, obviously, to Sadiq, and then the third round, obviously, to Edson. Both had knockdowns. Both had to grit through it and get through it. I mean, that's what you're looking for in a main event fight. These guys fucking came out and they balled out and they fought their asses off. You got to tip your hat to them.
It's great work.
I got nothing but respect for both these guys. Fantastic main event. I'm so glad I tuned in. I watched it twice just to make sure I didn't miss anything. But damn good fight. Damn good fight. Before we carry on, though, I want Dave to turn his camera on. I want you guys all to see Dave's baby face. Let me see this bad boy. Dave, where you at?
Look at that. What the hell?
Oh, man.
I almost don't recognize him.
Logan Paul should have brought that guy to Catch a Predator, because that's what you look like. You look like one of those Catch a Predator kind of guys. Oh, geez.
He had Chris Hansen in London, so fucking Dave said, this is my chance.
You guys got to understand, Dave's looking a little puffy right now because he was drinking last night. You can tell. And after he just texted me the other day, because I told him I'm doing Sober October, he just texted me, I've kind of been thinking about it too. You didn't think about it very long, did you?
No, I wasn't thinking about Sober October. I was just thinking about doing something.
Just thinking about not drinking anymore, but apparently that didn't last long.
There you go.
Sorry,
for those of you guys,
you got
Sleepyhead.
Mustache November coming up.
Yeah, is it it's Movember, right?
November.
In November, do you shave it or do you grow it?
No, you don't shave.
You don't shave.
Grow
okay.
it. Yeah.
Grow. Okay.
Give Dave a chance to get it back.
I need just a couple of days, a couple of days we'll be back in the game.
What's the wifey think of
She
this?
hates it.
She hates it.
She wants to be right back.
Yeah.
Real fast.
I'm kind of on the Tanya train. I think I'm kind of right there with her.
Well, just in a couple of days.
You know what it is, right? Well, you're from Scotland, brother. So like that area hasn't seen light, I don't know, however long. So it's just like a clear, like just looks like a whipped cream donut around your mouth. Like,
God.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, looks like someone fucking ate a powdered donut all the way around the rim of your mouth, buddy. Oh man. Hey, you know what? Go back to sleep. Go ahead.
Right,
I know it's 5 a.m. where we're at, so we're filming this and dropping this for you guys at home, but I had to put you on blast. Good times with my boy Podcast Dave, man.
Looking good, Dave.
Looking
Nice.
good.
Don't
I wish you would have done your hair. Yeah, don't ever do that.
Don't ever do that again.
All right, next fight.
Viviana Araujo. I've heard the name said so many different ways. I don't know how to
I've
say
heard
it.
Araujo.
Araujo.
That's what they were
okay.
saying last night. See, this is
Against
why I
Jennifer.
went on to listen to the
I
commentary.
know it's Jennifer Maya though. See, so
Yes,
that one.
yes, we are good with that one.
We talked about this. I wasn't too thrilled with this fight. They came out and they fought hard. I thought Viviana came out. She won the first and second round. I thought that Jennifer got the third one. It wasn't enough. She went after, but couldn't get it done. The right person won the fight, and it's it was a clean, good technique by both, but nothing that was spectacular in it. But nice win.
Good
by
fight. I mean, I thought Araujo, I think is what they were saying last night. I know I can't. I thought Araujo or whatever. I thought she landed obviously the harder, cleaner shots, and she was a little bit of a bully in those first 2 rounds. She's
strong.
pushing Maya. She's strong. She's pushing Maya around. She was landing the clean, hard shots. Don't get me wrong. She landed some clean shots too, but the overall output and combinations and the aggressiveness that Araujo or whatever was putting on was pretty impressive. I thought it was a good fight. I thought the two of them fought their asses off. And it was a very high level technical stand-up fight. I think the last couple takedowns were in there a little bit at the end, but man, the two of them were getting after it. Two of them were really getting
Let's
after
talk about high level technical stand-up game. Is the fight that happened before it with Jonathan Martinez?
Tell me
you
I'm right.
called this one.
Yes.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm right.
Even before you said it, I said you called this. You said, I think Jonathan Martinez is actually too technical on the feet for Adrian Yanez. And it's not even Yanez, it's Yanez now. See, they switched it.
Yeah.
Yanez.
This is why we don't listen to them.
Yeah, guys. Well, see,
John, you and I, we work in the commentary, so
you'll
we know.
hear a name. You'll hear a name.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden the fighter changes it.
Yeah.
Like Yanez.
Yep.
But
Well, don't ever forget. Don't forget. Remember, it was Cain.
yeah.
And then it turned to, whatever was like, fuck it. His name is Cain. Fuck. It's like, it's Cain Velasquez. No, they're like, in the beginning, it was Cain. I'm like, oh my God, it's fucking Cain. Just stop. Just stop.
But Jonathan Martinez, what a beautiful exhibition
Yeah.
of attacking the leg and then continuing to go after it, just eating it up. And you got to give it to Yanez. Look, he was tough as hell.
Yeah.
He was hurt. You could tell. And I thought it was stopped at exactly the right time. Kerry Hatley tried to let him, give time. The one thing, if I'm going to say anything to Jonathan Martinez, a little bit more fight IQ. And when he goes down, don't stand over him. If you're not going to do anything, step back right away and make him get back up so you can go after it again. But, I mean, if that's the worst thing that I can say as far as your fight, fucking unbelievable, dude. You looked so good.
Yeah.
That kid is definitely in the bantamweights.
Mm-hmm.
He's a problem. He is a freaking problem.
He's going to be a problem.
He's accurate. He's tough. He's got the full goddamn tool bag of he can go to the ground on the feet. He's dangerous. He's showing that.
Yeah.
Yep. That's gonna be. He's one of those guys. Look out, top 5. Here he comes.
Yeah, he's got power in his hands, and he sets up his kicks really well. His back rear leg kick is fucking nasty. Kicks to the body as well. He was just able to land on that inside kick repeatedly over and over, which started doing damage. I think early in midway through the first round.
You've been hit with a kick to the inside of the thigh. Mm-hmm. It's horrible. It's horrible. And it's like I was like, oh man, that's hurting.
Yeah. And he was able to land a couple in the first round. You could see that Giannis just started switching stance a little bit or kind of taking a step back. And you're like, okay, it's having an effect.
Totally affected him.
In my past fights of watching Martinez, just seeing how well he sets up that rear kick, and not just to the inside leg, mainly to the body and the head is what I remember the most. And he did it so seamlessly. The way he would kind of either roll the shoulder a little bit and then look like he was throwing the straight left, but then instead throwing the kick. Or he would like kind of give a little feint with the jab or throw the jab and then throw it right, kind of hiding behind that jab when he would throw the kick. It was so sneaky, and you could tell because fighters weren't blocking it, or they became so fearful of it when the guys that I've watched him fight. I was like, man, this guy's on point. He's got good setups. He does it so subtly. Only the person inside the cage sees it because he has to deal with that with Martinez in front of him. But if I'm at home watching, you're not thinking he's doing much. I mean, the only reason why I'm able to kind of pick up on it is because it was little things like that. Was like things that like some of the high-end kickboxers at American Kickboxing Academy used to use on me. It's like, Jesus, man. Like they would just give a little roll, a little feint, so they act like they're going to jab, or they did jab and they just hide the kick behind. Those type of things come from high-level kickboxing, high-level technique, high-level coaching. He's got it, man. He's got it. Yeah. He's got thick legs. He's got power in his hands, got power in his kicks. He's going to be a fucking problem.
He's a problem.
You know, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of his ground if someone's able to get him there. I mean, you get him to like Merab. I mean, it's like if you put him against Merab's a good wrestler. I haven't seen him wrestle at that level yet. I haven't seen an Aljamain Sterling. Like, you know, will they be able to get him down? Will they be able to hold him down? I mean, he's good on the feet. Everything I've seen of him on the feet is next level. So he's going to be a problem on the feet. I'd like to see maybe him and Sandhagen.
Oh my God,
Jesus,
dude! I want to. I'm being honest. Think of give him obviously another year and a half, 2 years.
Oh yeah,
but him and Sugar Sean, the stand up, what a technically great fight that could be.
Yeah, Sean's a little bit faster than him, and I think he's gonna be a little bit longer. Yeah, Sean's a little bit faster than him. Sean's longer. So I think it will be a fun fight, but I want to know how Sean handles those kicks.
Yeah,
that's where that's where it all kind of lies. And Sean switching stances quite a bit, but I mean Sean will stay in that conventional stance, so he'll go inside leg kick on him as well. Good fight though. I thought very high fight IQ against Yanez by Martinez.
Yes,
great job, man.
Yeah. And we had Michel Pereira against Andre Petroski. Pereira going up in weight to 185 for the first time. He was always a huge 170er. Didn't make weight against Wonderboy. They moved him up, and they did him a favor because, dude, he put Petroski away fast. I was really shocked by that. Petroski is a good, tough fighter. He's a guy that takes shots. He got hurt bad. He did. Goes down. He turned over. Obviously, he was hurt, and big opening middleweight win for Michel Pereira, but I was really surprised that he got rid of Petroski that way. I thought it would be an extended battle, and the real question was who was going to get tired, and it never got to that.
Yeah, I think with Michel Pereira, I think what we think is when I see him in the 170-pound division, I'm like, man, this guy's huge. Then I saw him in the 85-pound division, I'm like, this guy's huge. Like, he's still big. I mean, he looked way bigger than Petroski. He looked way bigger. The two of them when they were standing face to face right before the shot landed and sent him down. I was like, man, Michel is big. He's a big body frame. And he even came out and said that. I read one of his media things, and he's like, I've got to quit denying the fact that I'm an 85-pounder. He's like, I just can't keep killing myself to get down to 70. And half the time you don't make it.
Yeah.
So good call on him. I think he'll have some success there. I think he'll have more energy because he was someone too that kind of tended to slow down towards the end of the second, into the third but he also slowed down because he fought stupid and crazy backflips and all that shit. That'll run your energy down. Running off the cage, trying to do things like that. Like those things will run your energy down.
I want to say his first, it might have been his second fight, but it was the first. I want to say it's his first fight. Mm-hmm. In the UFC was against a guy named Tristan Connolly, Tristan is a 145-pounder. He took that fight at 170 to get into the UFC. And because Pereira got tired, Tristan won that. Now, Tristan's great on the ground. But there you go, Tristan Connolly right there. And he had one fight before it, Danny Roberts, which was a flying first round. But Tristan Connolly took that fight last minute, and if you look at Tristan's record, he's a 145-pounder. He's fought at lightweight, but he's a 145-pounder for most of his career. You know, you look and you go, that was all because he gets tired doing all that crazy stuff.
Yep.
He's calmed all that.
He's calmed that down now, and now he's, I think, more focused on. Look, there comes a stage in fighters' careers. where like you're out there having fun and you're doing all the, whatever it is you want to do. And then like you start working your way up the ranks and the guys start getting tougher and you start realizing I got to start taking this more serious because I'm going to get beat up. And then there comes, and then after that stage, then you're starting to look like we had Bobby Green on, which will drop on this show or
No,
Dave?
it'll be next week.
No.
It'll be in the middle. It'll be in the midweek show. We had Bobby Green on, but it comes a stage where you're thinking that you just want to fight the guys that motivate you, where Bobby's at right now. You know, you get to that stage of like guys that get me up out of bed, guys that I know, man, this would be a great fight. Those are you hit that stage, and I think at the end you're just kind of like, okay, now how much longer do I want to do this? Is it towards the end? Bobby's in that stage of I want to fight the best guys that I can that get me up out of bed, that motivate me, that are going to stand and trade with me, stand and bang with me, whatever it is, whatever Bobby wants to do. Like but there's stages to your career. Have fun. Pahea was having that. And then now it looks like he's getting a little more serious. You know, he's going to try to probably make a run at 185 now that he's found his weight. And then at the end, we'll see. Maybe it'll be somebody that tries to motivate him. But he's a fun fight. He's a fun fighter to watch. I think he's finally in his weight class. We'll see exactly what he can do as the fight moves on. All right, next one.
Christian Rodriguez taking on Cameron Simon in a catch weight because it was supposed to be 135-pound bantamweight. Christian Rodriguez is the one that couldn't make the weight. Simon said it was okay. They went up to the 140. You know, we watched Christian Rodriguez when he fought Rosas, and he was the one that put the first loss on that record for him. And we saw he's good. He's out of Duke Rufus's. He is a talented young man, and he proved it again against another. If you don't like this match and all of the different scrambles that took place and the different positioning and how they went from one thing to the next, you don't like MMA. This was a great fight. I thought that they put on a show, and Christian Rodriguez showed how good he really is. He just has to make weight. You gotta make weight.
Yeah, I thought it was a good fight too. I thought Christian Rodriguez, he was just able to counter better. You know, Simon was just basically like he would throw, and then Rodriguez would he would slip or he'd make a miss, and then he'd hit the counter with the overhand right or over the top or slide in with the jab. He was countering a lot better, landing the better shots, and then also adding in the wrestling, the takedowns and the control. I thought that Rodriguez looked good. I thought he looked real good. But it's all this is a big reason why guys like Stephen Thomson didn't take fights when people miss weight. Yep. Simon had an O. He's undefeated. This fight now gets rid of the O. These are the type of reasons why fighters are like, man, not that they're scared. It's just that they don't want to take the chance.
And you're looking and saying, well, it's an advantage.
Yeah.
He now he didn't have to lose as much as I did. He didn't have to struggle the way to get down to that weight. It's just all these little things, and then in the end, then you go, I think he was stronger. He was stronger because he had the weight. All these things, and this adds up to you getting that first loss, and it's a true thing to kind of look at, but it's also true that Christian Rodriguez is just a hell of a fighter. And he's good. But some of the scrambles and some of the positioning they had on the ground was fantastic.
I agree. What else?
Darren Elkins against TJ Brown. What are you going to do with the damage? I thought TJ had TJ got up out of positions with Darren Elkins. I was super impressed with it. He actually put Elkins on his ass multiple times. Elkins always seemed to turn it around and get to the top position, but really a fun fight. I know TJ is going to be upset with the result of it, but man, he came out fighting his ass off against a guy that we know is a tenacious pressure ground fighter, and I really enjoyed it. You know, to watch Darren Elkins is, I don't know how much longer he's going to be doing it, but 39 years of age, he's still, he's going to bleed, he's going to get cut, he's going to be in trouble somewhere, and he's going to end up, squeaking out that win, and that's what he did again. And he's had a hell of a career. I don't know how much what you're going to do with it, because obviously it's now just about the fights themselves.
Yeah.
But he's enjoying himself, and he's fun to watch.
You're right. He is going to bleed like a woman once a month.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is fucking insane. He gets cut all the fucking time.
Oh,
You
my God.
graze him, he bleeds.
He's scar tissue everywhere.
But this dude, last night, you know what I was most impressed by with him? His scrambles. There was multiple times where he was in a shitty position.
Man.
He scrambled his way to the top.
Yep.
I was like, holy
And sometimes, impressively, the way...
Yeah.
Understanding how he could move his body and, okay, I've got to flip over here as I spin, and you look and go, damn, dude, that was sweet.
That's exactly. There was one phase where one part where he had like where his opponent had like his arms locked, and he basically slid his head off the body and then did a backflip to get on top, like basically like a backhand. Yeah, I was like, holy shit. Yeah. And doing it when you're tired, to have the wherewithal to do it when you're tired, very impressive. This guy's he's got the scrambling abilities. You know, he just when you get to the upper level, he's not gonna be able to ever beat those guys because they have just a little bit more fight IQ. They hit a little bit harder. They just do a little bit things a little bit better. You know, but this guy, no matter what, Darren Elkins is fun to watch.
Yep,
he is so fun to watch. Any other fights on here you want to talk about?
You got to give it up, Terrence McKinney again. Take a look at the time.
Yeah,
dude, he hit that knee. I feel bad for Brendan Morant, but hit that knee and put him away. 20 seconds. So again, if Terrence McKinney's going to get the win, it's in the first round. It's what it seems like. And, you know, get him to the second round. Get him to the kid's athletic. He's fast. He's explosive. Chris Gutierrez looked really good as far as his fight. That was a tough fight at some points, but that guy is good. And then you got to give it up for Emily Ducote. She tore up Ashley Yoder's face, man. She put some big old cuts.
You know how women sometimes will shave their eyebrows and then draw new eyebrows on?
We should have Dave put that picture up, man.
Dave, can you pull that picture up, buddy? It looked like Yoder shaved her eyebrows and basically put that thing back up.
He doesn't have it.
Well, I deliberately wasn't going to put it on because I don't want to.
I
deliberately
want a violence violation on YouTube for it.
Oh, is it violence violation?
We've had it before, so
yeah, that's a good one right there.
Nasty.
That's a good one. That's 2 new eyebrows.
Jeez.
Nice work by Emily Ducote, though. That's what she's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Eat her up with the elbows.
Jeez, just nasty. Ugh. Well, hopefully it heals properly.
Oh, they'll be able to stitch it up.
They'll stitch it up.
She'll look okay.
Better go to a plastic surgeon. Yeah. All right, hey, that's gonna wrap up our talk on the fight cards. But what else you got for us, Dave?
Well, the first piece I want to get your thoughts on is he saying that he won't be back anytime soon? Israel came out this week and said, I'm not going to fight for a long time. I'm definitely not going to retire because I know me. I'm not leaving like that. I know me. But if I did, I'm fine. I don't need to prove anything else. I'm going to heal myself up. You won't see me fight for a long time.
I think he's smart. I think after a while, all the pressure, all those fights back to back, the training camps, it breaks you down. Right away they were saying, "Oh, it's a rematch. They're going to do a rematch with Sean Strickland." I'm like, "Don't do it, dude.
Yeah,
don't do it. You know what? Take the time, get the rest, get your motivation back, get to the point where you're having fun again, and then come back and do it." I think it's the right thing for Israel to do. I see nothing wrong with it.
What's a long time though? UFC 300? Is that what that is? Like, I'm just asking. Like, what's a long time?
He's, all right. What's this next pay per view?
295.
What
is the John
Jones? 295 or 294? John Jones. No, next pay per view is 294.
Sorry, yeah,
right?
the one coming up next week.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay,
so you're taking a look once a month, and you're at 4, so you got 6 left, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at 6 months. I don't think it's enough.
Yeah,
I think he should just don't want. So if you're part of UFC 300, great. If you're not, great. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know what? Doesn't matter.
No, I get it. But I think for him, having him on UFC 300, unless Conor takes the spot, which I think he might.
That I can see.
Yeah, they're going to get Conor taking the spot. Then there's no. I mean, if you're gonna be the co-main, sure you're gonna make a lot of money being on that card with Conor because you're getting pay-per-view points. But I mean, we'll see.
But how you? Okay, I want you. Here we go. So you have Conor on, we'll say UFC 300. You think there's going to be championship fights on that card?
I could see them putting Izzy on there.
Okay, so we'll say
because Izzy's a big draw.
If it was Izzy against Strickland in a rematch, we'll say. So who's the main event?
Oh, it's going to be Conor.
Oh, really? So you're going to put
no, we've had this discussion, John. I think it's bullshit.
Non-championship fight.
I think it's bullshit. But
Okay.
it's happened before.
I'm not saying it hasn't.
It's
But
happened
we've had
before.
arguments with people over this, and it's
Yes.
like, oh, no, they do it all the time. It's
No, no, yeah. I think it's bullshit. I think it should always be the whoever has the title, and then I think you base it off of
What's the most
weight.
important
Normally
thing?
they base it off of weight, which is fucking bullshit. Also,
And that's at least it's a standard.
yeah,
And it's okay.
drives me
You know, to
crazy.
sit there. Well, it's the easiest thing for them to do.
Well, I mean, the better fighters are always in the lower weight classes, which sucks for those fighters. That's why. It drives me. It drives me. Look, I think it's good that he's taking time off. Look,
So do I.
it's not just time to heal your body. It's time to heal you mentally.
Yeah.
You need time to just step away, fucking go spend time with family, go spend time, whatever, banging girls, whatever it is you need to do to get your mind off of things and to go out and have fun. Do whatever it is you want to do. Cut loose for a little bit and then come back and detox and get back into like some sort of camp and training. Have fun, go out there when you realize you don't have anything coming up. Some of my best work was done in the gym, realizing I didn't have anything coming up because you don't give a shit. You don't care. Like there's not as much, you're not putting as much pressure on yourself to, I'm sparring with this guy and that guy took me down. In a camp, you let that eat at you. God damn, this guy took me down. I can't believe he took me down. But in a non-camp, you're like, I don't give a fuck. Like you're out there having fun. I got taken down. Okay, I'll just get back
give
up.
two shits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or so-and-so, like I've told people this multiple times. In fight camp, I've sparred with guys that were 125, 135 pounds. That, they were good fighters, but not great. They were able to take me down in camp. I was exhausted. I was tired, whatever it was. And it ate at me for days. Days until I saw them again. Because, those type of guys, they'll take you down or they'll whatever, and then they won't come back to training for like 3 or 4 days because they only train
smart.
2 or 3 days a week.
Yeah, they're smart.
And so as soon as that kid came back, I made sure that I fucking put it to him. I was like, you're going with me first. And that's the mentality that you have to have. Like, hey, in my mind, this kid's already forgot about it. He hasn't forgot about it, but he's not bragging about it like he was the day he got the takedown and telling everybody I took him down. And I let that shit eat at me. I let it get to me.
Did you see?
Yeah. Did you see
that double-legged him right across the damn cage?
Yep. And then every time, and then I'd always pick him to spar first. I'd say, okay. And then as I'm beating him up, I'm on top. I'm like, hey, do you guys see this? Do you guys see this? I'm letting everyone know. I'm letting everybody know. Look he likes it. He likes it rough. He likes getting hit hard. He likes it. Little ground and pound.
Hello, BJ.
Yes. BJ and Rich Crunkleton, man.
No, he likes it.
He likes it. No, he likes to go hard. He likes to go hard. He likes hitting hard. He likes it.
No, coach, he likes it.
Yeah, that was one of the fucking funniest moments ever. Bob Cook's in the corner going, BJ, stop. BJ, stop. It was so great. So great. Good for him, though. Good for him. Take some time. A loss like that can kind of, because look, he was doing so well. Then he lost to Jan, went up, challenged himself. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Early mornings. Went up and challenged himself against Jan, got the loss. That was his first loss.
Yep.
Correct? First loss.
That's right.
And then he loses to Alex. And that was a legit loss. He was winning the fight, comes back, loses. Like, look, I can beat this guy. He comes back
and he gets the win.
Gets the win. Greatly, nicely done. And he gets the finish in that. Confidence builder right there. Boom. I did what you did to me. I got you back. Okay? Sniper.
Even more. Even more. There was no referee just saying, okay, you've had enough. There was no doubt you were out.
Mm-hmm. And then he just got outworked. He just got outworked and got out game planned. against Sean Strickland. The style of the fight.
Exactly. Again, no different than what you saw with KSI and Tommy Fury. When you all of a sudden are in there with someone who's doing something that's different than what you have seen before, it's awkward. It's hard.
Bobby Green.
It's difficult.
Bobby Green, man. He talks about it. I fucking taught Sean Strickland that fucking Philly show. That motherfucker. He got it from me.
Larkin.
Yeah, he got it from me. Got it from me. So you guys, that show's going to drop in the midweek show. And man, he's fun to talk to. A lot of history there, buddy. A lot of history. Good kid. Love him. Love him to death, man. Wish him nothing but the best. What else you got for us, Dave?
All right. One fight that wasn't announced when we filmed last week. It was the co-main event. Had a change in it. Yeah, and so Khamzat Chimaev is taking on Kamaru Usman now.
Ooh.
I tell you, the thing you got to look at this. Khamzat fighting Paulo Costa. You're preparing for a specific style. This is a different style fighter. I give him credit for taking this and taking it, on the time. And you got to give Kamaru credit for taking a tough fight right away, early. I don't know. I think I'm not saying it's. I like this matchup better, but I like the Paulo Costa matchup also. So, great fight either way. But I love the fact that both of these guys stepped up and said, "Yeah, you know what? Just whoever it is."
I wouldn't say I like it better. I just say I like it equally.
Okay.
Because the Paulo Costa fight could have been sprawl and brawl. I think that had the potential to be a little bit more of an exciting fight.
When you get two wrestlers, Josh,
they end up standing.
That are good. What normally happens?
They end up standing.
Okay.
Yeah, I look at the one place that Usman lacks is the speed. He's got a good hard jab. He's got good power.
Yep.
He's really become a fucking really good stand-up guy. He's really good. I want to see how much better he's gotten since his loss to Leon. He's just there. He can wrestle. Can he wrestle though? Will he wrestle? Because everything I've heard is that he doesn't wrestle as much because he's dealing with some his knees are not. He can't handle the wrestling as much, in camps and stuff.
He's got injuries.
He's got injuries. He's got problems. And so I think that there's a lot to be said, I think, on how he approaches this fight. On the feet, the speed's going to be a factor. And if Khamzat keeps this thing on the feet, I think Usman's going to be in a little bit of trouble. If Usman can turn this into a little bit of a wrestling match and start to slow Khamzat down, I think he's got a better chance.
How many people have you seen take Kamaru Usman down?
Yeah.
Leon.
Yeah.
The first fight in the first round, Leon, because I don't think Kamaru was even thinking it would occur.
Not the first fight. Fight.
No, I'm sorry. Second fight. Second fight.
You know what I mean? Okay. I got to read just
first championship fight. The second fight overall. Yeah, he took him down. Other than that, I can't remember somebody taking him down.
I think Colby got the takedown. He just hit his hip though and was able to control for a split second. Then
but he just popped right back up.
I get it.
They
didn't count it as a takedown.
It's not a takedown.
Yeah, it was, John.
Okay, well now you're Dave. Podcast Dave saying, "Oh, that's absolutely a takedown." Colby should have won the fight because of it.
I laugh because DC I think was talking about it in one of the went AKA one time. It's like that shit was a takedown, and I started laughing. I was like, no, it wasn't. We were laughing about it, giving him a hard time.
It's not a wrestling takedown. This is MMA.
Yeah,
takedown is where you control the position.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's kind of wrestling too. Same thing.
No, it's just
you still got to. Yes, John, you have to control the takedown.
You have to put them in a position, but it's a matter of with MMA. It has to be you're controlling their body in that position for a moment.
I wrestled before, right?
Yeah,
I know how the scoring system works.
I think I wrestled. It's different. It's not the same. Not the same. But
yeah, it's I think this is going to be a good fight. I think if Usman can survive the first round, like the big onslaught, and you start letting it go. Is this a 3-round fight though? It is.
Yes.
Because Islam will be a 5-round.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be hard for Usman to win a 5-round or 3-round fight. A 5-round fight, I'd probably lean towards Usman. I feel like every time I keep going against. I'm not going against Usman. I just don't. I don't give him the credit and the love he deserves, man. This kid's fucking good.
I look at Usman first off. If there's one thing that and I've watched Chimaev before he was in the UFC. We talked about him before when he first got. I said, look, I've seen this kid. He's fucking good, but he does get tired.
Yeah,
Usman has got an incredible gas tank.
Yeah,
similar to a Colby Covington. If there's a guy out there that can match that gas tank, it's Kamaru Usman.
Yeah.
He has got a gas tank. And in my opinion, the one thing that is going to really separate these guys is how much work does Khamzat get in before he starts to get tired? How much damage is he able to do to Kamaru? Because if he's not, Kamaru's going to keep that pressure on him, and that pressure could be what starts to break him.
Yeah, I've always wanted to see Kamaru go up to 85.
Yep.
I would have liked to have seen him because I look at Kamaru Usman. If he gets this win, he's fighting Sean Strickland.
You think so?
No, Dana already came out and said the winner of this fight's fighting for the title.
Okay.
That's what he came out and said. He's like, the winner of this fight's fighting next for the title, which makes sense because Izzy now is stepping away.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah,
Kamaru, I think Kamaru's like, look, I've done everything I can at 170. I feel good at 185. I think he's going to
feel great at 185.
Yeah, I think so too. So I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm worried about the speed of Khamzat and his sporadic, like he's real active. He's very aggressive in that first strong. 2.5, 3 minutes.
Yep.
He is pushing on it. And can Kamaru get back to his technique? Can he get back to his stance to defend himself fast enough? All of those things. I look at him like he's gonna have to deal with that onslaught in that first 3 minutes against. But I think after he survives that, I think he's got a good chance. I think he's got a really good chance. And I feel like people must think that I got something against Usman because I always seem to kind of not go against him, but say that he's kind of the underdog.
I think he might be the underdog in this one.
Homeboy always proves me wrong, though. He has always proven me wrong. Always. Yeah. This guy can fucking fight.
Oh, he can fight.
Kamaru Usman can fight. He can fight. Yep. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping Usman gets the win. I'd like to see him get the win. Get in there. I'd like to see him and Strickland. That'd be a fun fight.
Not bad.
Fight. All right. What else you got for us, Dave?
All right, I'll give you this last one here. Usada and the UFC are parting ways. And there's
a lot to talk about.
Tension around on here, yeah.
This is like a whole nother show, you guys.
I was going to say, this is going to be an hour conversation now.
This is a whole other show. Yeah, there was something on here that I wanted to point out. Who was it? Was it Bronstetter? I think it was. I sent this to you.
Bronstetter?
Yeah, Aaron Bronstetter. Did I send it to you, John, or did I send it to Dave? Yeah, or in the news?
I don't know.
Yeah, let me see. I think I sent it to Beta. I just saw Dave's. This is the dump truck. Oh man, let me see. Where's this? Oh, off topic. Since we're talking about science right now, I think I must have just sent it to you, John.
You sent me something on...
Yeah, I think the Bronstetter thing I sent to you. No, I didn't. I don't know where I sent it.
I'm looking. There's nothing there.
Damn it.
You might have done it to one of our other ones.
Did I send it directly to Dave? Anyways, okay. Can you pull up Aaron Bronstetter, his Twitter? He did something and he underlined something that was very on point. And this was apparently from what the UFC had released. It's his Twitter. It's about USADA. Damn, I thought I sent it to him. Let me see. Did I put it? I sent it to you. You know what? It might be in my photos. Maybe I just Snapchat. There it is. I got it. Sorry. Here, let me send it over to you, Dave. My bad, buddy. My bad, guys. Sorry, guys. Listen at home. I'm over here dragging ass.
Here, Dave, put that one back up there as far as the USADA, and we'll read it out as far as what USADA said. It says, "We are disappointed for UFC athletes who are independent contractors who rely on our independent gold standard global program to protect their rights to a clean, safe, and fair octagon. The UFC's move imperils the immense progress made within the sport under USADA's leadership. The relationship between USADA and the UFC became untenable, given the statements made by UFC leaders and others questioning USADA's principled stance that McGregor not be allowed to fight without being in the testing pool for at least 6 months. That is from USADA's CEO, Travis Tigert, who has been in charge of that for a ton of time. Well, now hold on. Now the UFC says they're going to be going a different way. Okay, and this was part of their whole thing. And I'm not saying that USADA has been perfect. I don't think they have. I think they've done a lot of things that really, in my opinion, are wrong because they don't want to be wrong, and that's a big problem. I think that for you to be fair to the athletes, there's times when the athletes have tested for something that they had no idea they were ingesting something in their body that was against the rules, illegal, whatever you want to say. They have a list of things they can take. They're taking something, and Josh Barnett, look at he tested positive before, but he did test under USADA. He says, "Look, this is what I took." They go and buy that product on the shelf at the store. He has to pay for it, but gives it, USADA takes that, they test it, and it tests for exactly what they popped him for. Now, how's someone supposed to know? And to sit there and now, well, we're going to give you 6 months. Why are you giving that person 6 months? They did nothing knowingly wrong. That's where I had the problem with USADA. There was a point where it's like, you don't want to say that you're wrong, or that someone didn't do anything wrong. You've got to prove that, well, we were right, so you're still going to get some time. That was my one thing that I didn't like with USADA.
They're like exactly like the state athletic commissions. They don't want to be proven wrong.
Yeah.
Athletic commissions are the same way. It drives me fucking nuts. Sorry, guys. I look at it like this is where I have a problem with, and now the UFC is talking about starting their own. The one that's underlined over there. There it is. It says right here, Nowitzki says, Dave's still moving around. Dr. Dan, how do you say his name? Eichner, who runs the SMRTL lab. Smyrtle. Okay.
Just
Smyrtle lab.
It's called Smyrtle.
Which has the highest accreditation in anti-doping, will run the UFC's laboratory.
Yeah.
So it will be owned by the UFC.
And they've
That's
already
a problem.
hired. They've hired. Well, see, this is the problem. Because, see, they hired, and they just came out saying who they hired, who was the guy who was the, one of the investigators.
Yeah.
A big fucking deal.
Yeah.
One of the investigators was Saddam Hussein. It's like, okay, who's he working for?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's working for the UFC.
Yeah.
Oh, it's your laboratories. So you're the ones that are in control of it. So you're the ones that can sit there and say, okay, Connor, yes, you don't have to do this. This is what's wrong. At least with USADA, they kept you in check as far as you had to play by their rules. Mm-hmm. Now, you don't like playing by their rules, and so you're going to go into, and you're saying it's independent. It's not independent.
No.
And that's what when you first asked me, I said, this is what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what they're showing.
And this is what he's showing right now. It says he will run the UFC's laboratory analysis and the science.
Yeah.
Look, we've already seen that they'll bend the rules. The UFC will bend the rules. They will bend the rules for guys like Brock Lesnar to get it passed and for him to fight. They will bend the rules, or they tried to bend the rules for Nate Diaz. They said, look, we're going to bend him a little bit until after the fight, and then we'll deal with it after. And Nate called him out on it. He said, fuck no. We're dealing with this shit right now. You're not going to slander my name. You're not going to fucking hang me out to dry after I've made you your money. Fuck you. And that's where you're going to run into these problems. If you're going to do this, if you're going to come out and say that you're going to be testing all of your fighters, it has to be done independently. This is why promotions don't want to have to deal with this. This is why they let the athletic commissions do it.
That's right.
That being said, I asked you this the other day. I said, say this thing gets the UFC's laboratory test this person positive, and they're on and the fighter's on his last fight with the UFC under contract, and then he gets suspended by the UFC. Well, that's a UFC laboratory. That is not the California Commission or the Las Vegas Commission laboratory. So am I really suspended, or can I just tell you to fuck off and go fight somewhere else? Because it's not independent anymore. And so like you were saying that before, the commissions would take the USADA doping and the blood testing and the urine or whatever it was, and they would use their samples, and they would use they would suspend them if they thought, if USADA said it came up with that test.
There were commissions that did, yes.
Now, will the commissions do this? Because this really is a blurred line right now.
I'm telling you, this might change everything for what the commissions are going to accept. With USADA, when you talk about Smurtle, Smurtle is an organization that does the testing. Okay, they're the laboratory that does the testing, and a lot of commissions use them for the testing that they do with athletes. But the problem is, they're the laboratory, but they can only test what's being sent to them. Okay. And what's being sent to them is going to be run through the UFC's laboratory and their people working for them. I can't think of the guy's name that they just hired and stuff. Nowitzki will be in charge of him. He'll be in charge of the laboratory. But there's too much now as far as a crossover that the independence of it is in question.
Yeah,
you got to look at it. If you're not going to question it, then you're just going to say, well, the UFC is, they're not going to cheat, and you're going to believe in that. And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the UFC is trying to cheat.
No,
but I'm saying they're putting themselves in a position where someone can say they're not being fair. They're not doing it the right way.
Well, John, what makes this even more complicated is now that betting is allowed.
Yep.
You can say honestly that you're saying
been allowed for a long.
No, I get what you're saying, but now kids off of their fucking phone can bet. You understand what I'm saying? Like what you're doing is they now are putting themselves in a position to be scrutinized or really looked into by the government, being like, hey, you're skewing fights. This fight here, this person, they could have tested positive, but your laboratory said they didn't. He only had picograms. Well, what's your idea of picograms? I'm just throwing this all out here. Like this, there's a lot of things. This is why I've had this conversation with Scott Coker, because when I first went to Bellator, I was like, hey, USADA's over at UFC, and we talked. I said, have you ever thought about doing it through WADA? Is it VADA or WADA?
They're both. You have
both.
That's the World Anti-Doping Agency and the Voluntary Anti-Doping Agency.
So he had talked about bringing in one of those companies, and he's like, look, really what it comes down to, he's like, now it feels like that I'm having to regulate my fighters. He's like, let the commissions do that. That's their job, is to test them, in the middle of camp, and test them, the night of the fight if they feel they need to. He's like, once you start bringing that in on you, he's like, it becomes a problem. He goes, then if certain fighters are not getting the test results they get, or like how Yoel Romero and Jessica Penne went through this, obviously, I think for a long period of time, she went through this shit.
Yes, she did.
And she lost 3 years of her career because of this shit. And now it looks like the promotion's doing it to them on purpose when it's not them. At least the independent people are the ones taking the brunt of the argument. Whereas now it's a UFC laboratory. What are you talking about? Maybe your laboratory's not clean. Maybe your laboratory got things mixed up. There's a lot of things.
Now you're talking about cross-contamination?
Exactly. There could be a ton of things, and they didn't want me to fight. Or now this just leads more into that whole Dana privilege. They don't like me. Dana doesn't like it. It gets real foggy here, John. And it's not that I'm saying that they want to do these things. It just that can give the perception that the UFC is controlling who makes it to the top, which fighters they like get there. And if someone's having especially when someone's having contract problems,
that's the real problem.
When someone's having contract problems and all of a sudden they tested positive, I know I didn't take anything. I've been taking the same shit for the last, 6-7 years. Fuck no. It ends up getting complicated.
It does. It can. You've created a situation, and this is why the UFC stepped away. They did that whole thing from the fights in Macau. Mm-hmm. Rich Franklin against Kung Lee, I think, was the fight that was. Yeah. They caught Kung Lee, said he pissed dirty, and then Kung came back, and it's like, well, and there was no doubt. Look, you take a look at the pictures. I love Kung, but he was putting out pictures of. I mean, he had veins coming out of his waist. All of a sudden, it's like, Kung,
40-something years old. Yeah.
What the hell? Yeah.
You didn't think about this before you did it?
There's just some things that just don't happen based upon, age and being in shape and stuff. You can sit there and say, "Oh, I've changed my diet." Yes, you did.
No, yeah, it's called a science diet, by the way.
Yeah. Well, there is a science diet. It's for dogs, and if you take it, you're gonna get ripped like a motherfucker.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
But that was the reason they went to USADA, and you looked at it and you go, "Man, I understand, and it's smart." And now, it's all, I don't want to say it's all based upon the one fighter, but it's a control of when they can use somebody. They don't want somebody saying, well, no, he's got to be in this program for so long and you can't use him because that person is a moneymaker. And it just doesn't look, the optics are bad. Yeah,
they are. They're extremely bad right now for this. But just like everything else, the dust will settle, and the media, if they want access, will kowtow to the UFC and let them free on this. And that's just the way it works. I mean, they understand. Like they want credentials. They want to get into the shows. They want to be able to write about it. They want to be able to not be scrutinized by Dana up on the platform after every event. And so they're going to do what they're told. That's what the media does. They're going to do what they're told. And I like that Bronstetter came out and he underlined that it was the UFC's laboratory that will be doing the testings run by so-and-so and so-and-so. All those things are great. But like I said, where you're going to run into the problems is when you have any type of problem with a fighter, whether they're being disobedient, they don't like Dana, they talk about Dana privilege, they do any of this, or the contract isn't what they want, or when they ask for more money, they get busted, or if they end up getting tested hot. Careful, because like it just there's a blurred line. Now you run the organization and you hold my contract, and now you're testing me to see if I'm breaking any rules. And you mix that along with the code of conduct stuff. I mean, there's fines that can be slapped on you. There's penalty. Like, do you start slapping fines on the people for testing positive? Now how the NFL and all the other people do? Now you're garnishing my money and not making me fight, or not giving me a fight. There's a lot, man. There's a lot that can be involved in this. It's scary. It's a scary situation. This is why Coker had said plenty of times, we stay out of it. We let the commissions do it. Yeah. So there's no lines that are blurred. It's freezing in my house right now. It's like shaking. It's so cold.
I would say something as I sit here with a hoodie on.
Yeah. You know what? Hold on, give me 1 second. Hold on.
No, what is that?
Jesus.
Oh my God. He's leaving, trying to find. He's trying to find something. He's spinning. Hey, he's out the room. He's gone. My man is gone.
And on that note, we'll just wrap up. I'm just kidding.
There you go. So,
because he's gonna come back, and you know what's gonna happen. He's gonna come back and say,
"Let me ask you a question, Dave. Since your company, well, it's not your company, but the one you love, the WWE, they have a doping program, right? And so none of those wrestlers take anything anymore, right?
They don't know. Except I'm sure I'm sure Brock does, but I don't think most of the guys do.
You don't, huh? Okay. What about the boss,
Vince? Well, he's not a competitor.
Yeah. What do you mean? He competes all the time. He does all of the shticks.
No, he's not for like.
Yes, he does.
Years, he hasn't.
Oh, bull. He's done it since then. He had the 20 years ago is when he tore both quads off. You got to give it to the dude. He's a gamer all the way to the end. You know he tore both of his quads on one of those?
And then when he came in the ring, it was a Royal Rumble, and he came in the ring and
Yep. Yep. He sat on his ass. It was a good move. Feel bad for him.
Good entertainment.
But there's no way. There is absolutely zero chance to tell me that the guys in the WWE, no, they're all clean. Stop. And they get tested. It's the same. It's like, stop.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you're in charge of your testing.
If we ran through with Usada at WWE, fuck, it'd be
Oh
epic.
my God.
It'd be epic.
There wouldn't be anybody left.
Well, here's the thing. John, do you remember when Usada first came on? And then I remember like some of us fighters went over, Phil Davis, myself, we all left the UFC and went over to Bellator. Yeah. And everyone's like, oh, you went over there because you guys can cheat. Like, oh, they don't test. It's like all those guys are on steroids. And realistically, what you're doing now is you're putting the control of the testing into the company who runs the fighters. Yeah. And so when I say it's blurred. It's going to be really blurred by the time they get done with this whole thing, because we put this guy as the highest of credibility in charge, and he was the guy who chased down Osama bin Laden and Saddam Hussein or whatever it was. Like, I'm like,
he didn't chase shit.
None of that shit doesn't make it. It doesn't.
No.
He can still be told what to do.
That's right. Who's writing his checks?
Exactly.
Who does he work for?
Mm-hmm. And what does he know about drug testing? Did you bring him on to do what? Like, you brought him on because he's got what, high standards? I don't know. Like, it doesn't make any. Like, what does he know about drug testing? What does he know about lab results? What does he know about those things? Anyway,
Jeff Nowitzki will teach him.
Yes. The golden snitch.
I love that.
The
name.
golden snitch.
Brendan Shaw came up with that one. I was like,
great name.
And look, I'm telling you right now, I love Jeff Nowitzki. He's a great guy. He's a very straightforward, honest guy. Really like him, but it's a matter.
I feel
of
a butt. No, sorry, I feel a butt coming.
There's no butt. I like him.
You said butt.
Yeah. No, I like him.
Yeah, there's a I didn't want to talk about it last week because I wanted more stuff to come out, and luckily more stuff did come out. And instead of just popping off and saying, things.
There was no idea who they were going to go with. All they said is we're going to go with another independent company. Okay, and if they did, look, if they had gone with WADA, they had gone with VADA. You look and you go, okay, there's nothing keeps them in that position where USADA has to be the company that they go with. It's a lot of money they put out for this testing.
Yeah.
So they should have the right to go with where they want. But
I think whoever they do go with, like if they end up using an independent lab or whoever they decide to work with or whatever it is. But the bottom line is whoever they go with, they need to learn to understand fighters make money off of this. And when you're wrong, you're wrong. You brought that up in the beginning was,
yep.
You have to say, hey, we fucked up. Like, remember the Yoel Romero thing?
Yeah.
They tested 200 samples from store bought, and it all came back positive.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Why is he still serving another 4 months before he can fight? I don't get it.
Absolutely.
Get his ass in the cage right away. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you did take it. It's like, man, if I'm eating a goddamn stalk of corn and the guy who grew that corn was able to put something into the ground that makes it come up into the corn, how the frick am I supposed to know that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm eating corn.
Well, I mean, let's not forget. Remember Canelo Alvarez? I think
horse meat.
Yeah, it was. He was saying it was Texas beef.
Well, okay, and the truth is
not Texas. Sorry, Mexican cows.
beef, and it's true because Mexican ranchers,
cattle,
Mexican ranchers were putting clenbuterol into the feed of the cows, and that came out in the meat. It's true. It happens, and so that's why he used it. I'm not saying that's how he got it.
Yeah,
but they had quite a few boxers from Mexico come up with clenbuterol.
So I had sports asthma, and I had to use clenbuterol as a inhaler. I think it's clenbuterol.
No, that's albuterol.
Oh, okay.
Albuterol.
Okay, never mind. Sounds the same.
That's one of those
obviously, I knew what I was putting into my body. Jeez. What the fuck? Dumbass. Oh. All right, guys. Hey, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. It was kind of early. Sorry about all the yawning. Man.
Boy, I'll tell you.
It was freezing too. I was
Freezing.
struggling.
You would think if it's freezing, you're not yawning.
No. Actually, when your body shakes like that, man, I had to take a piss too. That's why. I was shivering so much, took the piss out of me.
I shivered the piss right out of me.
That was something Dave would say. Took a piss out of me, right? Do you guys say that in Scotland? Yeah, it took a piss. Took a piss out of me.
Well,
that's funny.
I'll take the piss.
All right, hey, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this show. Great main event yesterday by the UFC. Great job. Co-main actually lived up. It was better than I thought it was going to be, John.
It was better than I thought it would be, but there was some
good.
other fights on there.
There were.
Especially the Jonathan Martinez. He looked fantastic.
He looked fantastic, yeah. McKinney and Michelle Pereira.
Yep.
Yeah, they both fought their asses.
I listened to Joe Martinez. Pereira.
Okay.
I'm going with Joe Martinez. I'm going with the announcer.
All right, Joe. Good job, Joe Martinez.
Yeah, don't mess with Joe.
I mean, Arujo is what they were saying, I think is what it was yesterday.
Okay,
Arujo. And,
Viviana Arujo.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we've been in these type of meetings before. We've spent literally like fucking 15 minutes on one person's name, and no one could get it right. And then we got on air, and everyone said it differently. Everybody. And then
one of the best ones is it was Dovlejan Yegshimuradov.
Yes.
Okay. And then because it spells out as you look at it, it's like, okay, that makes sense. Dovlejan Yegshimuradov. Got it. And then Dovlejan comes up and he goes, please, my name, first name, Dovlet. What? Dovlet. Dovlet. Okay.
John,
got it. And you look and you go, well, it's not in the writing, and this is the voice. He goes, I said, whose voice is this? Listen to this. He goes, I don't know.
I don't know who said this. I just called him Yags for a while.
Yeah.
I said, just call him Yags. I wish we would just stuck with Yags.
Easier. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was way easier. People were looking at the name. It's so funny. I had people going, Chris Martel. Yeah, this guy's name. Yeah, this guy. He's like, yeah, because we were supposed to cut. We were doing a set at the desk. He's like, yeah, this guy right here. He just points to the name. He's like, yeah, John. I played golf with the buddy of mine that I met here, and on Friday, and at Castle Hill. It's like in the lakes there, like down by South Lake, Texas, by Dallas, and he takes me, we go out afterwards, after we go out to this little like restaurant bar kind of thing after we play. And he introduced me to a couple of his buddies that are there. And they call this guy Fuff. Oh, geez. John.
Fuff.
His name is Fuff.
Oh,
and I said,
you.
well, I go, really, Fuff? I'm like, what the fuck?
Fuff you.
He goes, and so the guy's there, and they wouldn't tell me why they called him Fuff, and they've known this guy since he was a kid. And Fuff walks away, and he goes like over to talk to some other people, and then the guy that's his buddy goes, "Hey man, let me tell you why they call him Fuff." He's like, "Tell me why they call him." So he's telling the story. My buddy hadn't heard the story either. He's like, "Why do you call him Fuff?" And he's like, "Well, when he was a kid, he had really fucked up feet." And so we called him Fucked Up Feet. Fucked Up Feet is Fuff. And so what they would do, his feet were so bad, he had like several surgeries to fix them. So they took like bone grafts and stuff. They had shaved his bunion. I guess his feet used to do like this. Like his toes would like go inward. What? And so like a real bad bunion. Anyways. And so for when he had the surgery, they had to put wooden shoes on him.
Oh, Jesus. Now he's a Dutch.
And so he had wooden shoes. And he had to play basketball. And so he was on the wooden floors playing basketball with these wooden shoes. It was go clunk, 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 clunk.
Why did they call him Clunk?
They were so mean to this fucking guy. His name is Lyle, by the way. They were so fucking mean to him. Like they would go to like high school parties and college parties and fucking, because his feet were so fucked up, they would take his shoes off right before they got to the party and make him come into the fucking party. And they'd run his shoes into the party and make him come in and get it so everyone could see his fucked up feet. So they called him Fuff.
Fuff.
He's fucking probably my age, maybe a little bit older than me. And they still call him Fuff. But I thought it was pretty fun. I was like, why do you guys call him Fuff? What does Fuffs mean? What does Fuff mean? It means fucked up feet. And so I tell him, I go, I said we were sitting there having some food. And I go, let me see those fucking bad boys. Let me see them. He's like, you don't get it. He's like, now though, they're beautiful. He's like, I spent a lot of money to get them fixed.
You got no room to talk with your Flintstone feet, man.
Whoa.
You got Flintstone feet, dude.
I got really bad feet, you guys. I'm subconscious about it, man.
Are you sensitive?
I'm very sensitive about my feet. Anytime I go anywhere and I have to, like, we go to the beach or something, I don't take pictures of my feet. It's just, you know, there's an actor, LL Cool J. He has actually in his contract, you can never show his feet. So every time they do something where you got to show his feet, they actually have these little black booties they put on him that fit his feet. John, you were there. You were there at the NCIS LA, right? You were the ref inside the cage, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So in that, if you go back and watch, he's wearing black booties.
Is he?
In the MMA fight. John didn't even catch it. Jeez, man. What kind of ref are you?
One that didn't care.
What kind of ref are you, buddy? No, he's wearing black booties.
Their production, they can do what they want. I don't care.
he has it in his contract. You can never film his feet.
No shit.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, he actually is the one that told me that. We were off to the side talking after the fight scene. And we were kind of off to the side talking, and he's like, and I was like, I go, you know, you can't wear shoes inside the cage, right? He's like, I got that shit in my contract. He's like, I got ugly feet.
Do you remember remember the movie Boomerang with Eddie Murphy?
Absolutely.
And it was all about fucked up feet.
Yes, it was about fucked up feet.
They should have called that fucking movie Fuff.
We should have called it Fuff. That's one of my all-time favorite movies, man. You got Martin Lawrence in it.
Oh, it was great.
Eddie Murphy. There's Robin Givens, right? Tyson's ex-wife was in it.
Yep.
She was, and Halle Berry. Oh
yeah.
She's probably my all-time favorite.
What was the one?
I like Kate Beckinsale too. She's
Halle Berry was in the one with Hugh Jackman and John Travolta. What the fuck was that movie?
One of my favorite movies.
It was a good movie.
Swordfish.
That's it.
Swordfish. Great movie.
That was a great movie.
Great movie. Yeah. Yep. He was doing the face thing.
Now we just talk about catfish. Who's getting catfish now?
Oh jeez, man, that shit's crazy. Remember the kid from Notre Dame, Tua?
Oh fucking yeah,
not Tua, Tua. Manti Te'o.
Monte Te'o,
yeah.
Monte Te'o.
Got catfish. I thought he was married.
Oh my
basically.
God, this is fucking crazy.
I felt so bad for him.
So did I, because he didn't do a damn thing wrong. All he was he's a nice guy that's, you know, because he was a football star and everyone expected he was getting tail everywhere and stuff, but he kind of wasn't that dude. And
Tim Tebow, same shit.
Everyone
thought he was getting tail. They're like, nope, still a virgin.
Yeah,
good for you.
He got eaten up from that thing, man.
I was like, man, way to ruin your life. Yeah. It's like, no, that poor kid.
There's a whole thing on that. People want to watch that. I think it's on one of the ESPN 30 for 30.
It's a documentary, right? Yeah, it's a good little. I heard it was pretty good.
It's really good.
Take a look at that. All right, well, hey, we're gonna go ahead and run off of this. Go to WayneInMerch.com. WayneInMerch.com. Pick up some of our apparel there. You got hoodies. John's in one. I had to go get one right now because it's getting cold outside at night here. I was at the soccer game on Friday night, John.
Okay, I got to say something then. Go ahead.
I was at a soccer game on Friday night. Game started at 8:00. That shit didn't end until like 9:30. It was freezing. Do you have these? Let me ask you this. Do you have these silkworm things in Tennessee?
Oh yeah.
They float in the air?
Yeah, there's places that have them. Yeah, I know.
They are fucking everywhere here. Yeah. Like there's like these.
Texas
it looks like a big spider web, like cobweb. Yeah. That shit just floating around.
Yeah.
My son was running around. My son was running around. He like got one in the face right in the middle of the game.
Oh yeah.
It's just coming off. He's like, he had the only goal for the game though. They still lost. They lost.
We get those damn spiders that do these giant webs on the trees and cover up all their stuff. So those things are. My wife goes, get rid of that fucking thing. I'm always having to pull those things down.
Yeah, they're everywhere. I mean, like we have a spider web in between two bushes in the back, two holly trees in the back, and that thing's probably got to be at least 5 feet across, probably 4 or 5 feet tall. This way, 4 feet across, probably about 5 feet. It's huge, man. It's huge.
All right, since you like soccer, on Netflix, there is a documentary on David Beckham. You got to watch it. It's freaking good.
Really?
Yep. So it's probably like 4 or 5-part series.
Are you a Bennett like Beckham fan?
Yeah.
You are now?
Yeah.
Or are you?
Well, no. I've always liked certain players and stuff, but it's crazy how they intertwine, and you'll kind of get that with this whole thing.
Got it.
Where this, dude, that dude was fucking 13 years old when he was signed by Manchester United.
John, they're
13.
younger now. They're younger now. 7 and 8 year olds are being signed right now.
Freaking nuts.
Yeah, 7 and 8 year olds right now are being signed. We literally had a young girl on the U.S. team. I believe she's 18 years old. 16, 18. I think she's 18. But we've had players play on our team on our U.S. national team that are 16, 17 years old. John, it's insane. I have a really good friend of mine in San Jose. His son was so good. He was playing for the U12, U13 Earthquakes. He was so good. He's now in Germany. He's only 17 years old. He's in Germany now. He dropped out of high school. Didn't drop out. He got his GED.
Oh, yeah.
Got his GED. Now he's playing in Germany. He's over there on a team over there on one of their teams, playing on an actual. He's getting paid. Getting paid pretty well. 17 years old. Yeah. His dad is a friend of mine, and his dad goes, he's finally off the payroll. Fuck, thank God. He's like, now I'm just waiting to collect some money. He's like, come on, kid, pay me back.
All the Uber rides and everything.
Man. No, and look, the price that I'm paying here in Texas versus the price I was paying there in California for my son to play soccer, completely different. And the level here is better than the level in California, which is crazy to me. Soccer here is a lot cheaper, and the level is a lot better, which is nuts to me. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, there's areas in California that have next level soccer, next level. But yeah, I think definitely just man, I love it. I love the sport. I love watching it. I played it my whole life, and I love it. I don't follow I know I love it, but I don't follow the European series as much as I possibly can. Just the time changes, but now that the apps are involved, it's a lot easier to follow. Yeah. Whereas back in the day, it was hard to get European soccer on regular TV. It's just hard
here in the States.
Watch that. Go ahead. Go ahead, say it. Beckham. Go watch it, the David Beckham one. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Check that out. All right, Dave. You know what?
Give me a hoodie.
I'm gonna call Dave Fuff too. Fucked up face. Now that he's all shaved, it's gonna be Fuff. Yo, fucking Dave Fuff.
Yo, Fuff.
Yo, Fuff. Fucked up face. Come here. Till it grows back. You're Fuff until that shit grows back. Oh man, Tanya's gonna love me. She's like, I'm on Tanya's side, man.
I'm just gonna call you Fub then. Fucked up brain.
Well, it's okay. I'm okay with that. I still got good looks. It can get me by. People judge first by the looks, so that's okay. All right. Hey, go to WayneTheMerch.com, pick up some more apparel, and also hit subscribe on our channel. Subscribe to us, hit the little bell and notifications. We've got Bobby Green coming up. We filmed that episode, and that should be dropping in the midweek show. We also got another special guest tomorrow that we'll be filming with. And a little extra content going up on our onlyfans.com/weighing-in. John and I are going to do a full breakdown of the Bellator card that's happening in Chicago, November 17th. Don't miss it. That will be available on our OnlyFans. That will also be up on the Bellator YouTube and Instagram pages as well. So John and I will be doing a full breakdown of that tomorrow.
There you go.
For
everyone out there, if you're doing the John Travolta like my man Josh Thomson, hope you enjoyed the show. We kind of screwed around a little bit here at the end, but thank you for watching, and we will see you.